Good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now the weather here is absolutely dreadful. It's absolutely pouring down and it's cold. And this week it's not supposed to get any warmer. I mean, our maximum temperature this week will be 8 degrees centigrade and we're in May. Unbelievable. Anyhow, the plants you can see in front of you are 4 phragmipediums that are badly in need of attention. As you can see, I'll just try and close up on them a bit, then you can see the state they're in. These are the things that are not doing too well. So I'm going to take them all out of the pots, I'm going to check the roots, and I'm going to repot them all. So we're going to start with the, I don't know, we'll start with one of them anyhow, and I'll tell you what sort it is. Well, the first one we're going to have a look at is this, and you can see it's in bad shape. It's flowered from this one before, so it's time I remove that one. And there's all marks all over the leaves and everything. This was a gift to me some time ago, and those, I don't know, it's like rust on the leaves, you know. So I'll have to look at the roots and see what we can do with it. So we'll take this out of the pot. I've only just watered them as well. I shouldn't have watered them while we're doing this video, but I did, so we'll have to look at that. Nothing worth writing home about. All the roots are hard, but what can I take off it? Take some bad leaves off and see what happens. Might have a bit of root rot, this, I think. Not quite sure. Come on. I'll cut that one. And I'm saying that because this is the new growth and it's moving. So that's not a good sign at all. So it looks like this one is going to go to the dogs. Let me just get some scissors. Yeah, I'll get the scissors and just trim this off. There's nothing wrong with the media. Put it on the floor and sweep up later. Typical thing for a man to say that, isn't it? But this should come off, I think. This is slowly dying, and that one is doing the same, I think. Anyway, what we'll do with it, we'll try and clean it up the best we can. And try some dragon's blood on it. Clean it up. Take some getting at some of these in here. No. Yep. Got it. But I'm going to take this off, or I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it down. This has flowered before, so it'll not flower there again. Although that's one decent leaf, but there's no decent roots on it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiny roots on it, but they're all living. So I'll not give up on this yet. So it looks like I'm going to have to cover this in dragon's blood just to see what happens. So we'll get the dragon's blood. I suppose you can hear the rain, the heater's just come on. I thought things were going to get cheaper for electricity at this time of year, but it's going worse. Where's all this global warming? We'll drop down there, some right round the bottom. because if there is any rot round here, this will definitely stop it. Right, I think we'll chop that off at the bottom now. See if we chop the leaf off. We'll chop that off, and you can see right in the middle it's gone dark. So that's a bad sign, that one. This should do the trick for me. Right, I'm just going to put that one on one side now until that dragon's blood soaks in there. I mean, it looks like these should have been done a couple of months ago. Well, I did most of them, but I didn't do that one. But we'll not give up hope yet. Just check these. See if there's any bugs in, any snails in, any slugs in. No, can't see any. Mind you, I put some beer out a couple of nights ago and didn't catch a thing. So we'll just put that in there, put it on one side, and have a look at another one. The next one is a small Phragmipedium Garan Weaver. These I've always found that I've got are notable for becoming sort of very old looking, getting a few brown leaves on it and everything. But they're a cross between Piercii and Wallacei, which loves water, and this gets plenty of water. And I think this has been potted recently, I think. Anyhow, we'll take it out and have a look at it. And get it good clean. Ah, there's one new little growth there. So that's a decent sign. But let's see what the roots are like. And they look to me pretty horrible. Yep, they're awful. Awful. Anyhow, we'll just try and clean it up first before we do anything else. We'll take all the brown leaves off. Should come off if I just slightly tug it as I'm pulling down. There we are. Yep, that's off. That is not wanting to come off. So we'll not force it anymore, we'll just give it a cut as close as we can to the plant. There's a new growth there that's not going to do anything, so I'll chop that off. Leaves. This is a bit of a tedious job because you've got to be careful with them. These leaves aren't for coming off. They're dead, so they won't come off. I thought they would have just dropped off these. Now that one is coming right out of the middle of the plant. So what do I do? Do I leave it on? Or do I just cut that growth off? Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the growth off. And when I look where I've cut it, There is no green at all. It's just a dark colour. Very slight touch of green, but nothing worth writing home about again. So out comes the dragon's blood. You can see there, just put the dragon's blood on where I've cut it off. Let that soak in. And then we'll just let it dry off a bit. In fact, I can leave it like that while I just have a look at the roots. I don't know whether you can hear me or not above the heater, but there's not a lot I can do about that. I just cut the dead roots off. There's an absolute load of dead roots here that's been come right up to the this woody part of the root system. I've got to clean that up the best I can, I think. And I think that's the only thing we can do. And yeah, you don't want to watch me doing that, so I'll switch off and come back to it when I've done it. Well, I've cleaned this Garum Weaver up the best I can. You can see there's a little new growth there. There's one new growing tip on one of the roots, and it's been a heck of a job cleaning out the mess in the middle there. So what I've done, I've cleaned out the best I can, cut everything off that was soft, and I've just filled it full of dragon's blood. So we'll just see what happens with that one. So that's another one I had a look at that's not doing very well, but this one may take off with a bit of luck, because these are an absolutely gorgeous flower if you want to look them up on the web. Cross between Piercy Eye, as I said before, and Wallacey Eye. Well, this one will be a little easier to do. It just needs an old growth cutting out, and we'll just have a look at the roots while we're at it. And I can't tell you what this one is because I took the label out and I couldn't read it. It's one of those plants, one of those few plants, I don't think there's many more, that haven't got a black label into it. But this was a white one and it had all faded, so I couldn't read it. So I'll have to wait till this flowers, and this might flower sort of September, October time this year. So we'll just take it out of its pot and have a look at it. Usual squeeze on the pot. This doesn't look too bad actually. There's no new growth on it, so we'll just have a look. Some of these do need repotting. I mean, this has got plenty of growth stones in it. So let's have a look at the root. This is the time of year when nothing's happening. No, it's unusual this. I mean, you can tell how many times I've cut this plant up. There's the rootstock on it there. This needs to come off this bit. So we'll cut that off. But what I think I've done, I think I've thrown the scissors away with the old media. And somebody said, what do you do with the old media? Well, I just throw it on the garden. Oh dear, so I'll have to go out in the rain and have a look on the garden to see where I've put the scissors. Dear, dear. I had thrown them away in the garden, so I'm absolutely wet through now. Never mind. So we'll take this off, this growth. Yeah, that's ready for coming off anyhow. Usual thing we do to it. dragon's blood on the cut, and it soaks in very, very quickly. And then we'll just have a look at the roots. Just one little new growth. Oh, and one little new growth coming there at the bottom. Just cut off what we don't want. Which is that. Everything else doesn't seem too badly. I'll look around this other side. Here we've got the soft ones. Plenty of soft roots here. What I'll do with this one, I did with the last one, I'll switch off and come back to you when I've done it. I'll just show you what the roots are like before I clean it up. And there's a new little growth coming there. That's going to be a root. And yeah, we'll just clean it up and have a look, see if we can find any, excuse me, see if we can find anything else. Well, these are becoming bigger jobs than I thought they were. These roots are quite good, they're all hard and one thing and another. And you see right there, there's a little new growing tip. Where is it? There. So there is signs of it coming into life. And that's the old root stock there, where I've chopped them off. That's where I've just chopped another one off. So we'll put that on one side and see what that does. And hopefully, as I say, in September, October, I'll be able to name that one. And the last one we're going to have a look at is, would you believe it, another Garum Weaver. I told you they were getting a bit funny, these things. But let's have a look at it. Very tiny thin roots. Very tiny. I'll just show you the roots. They're the roots, and they're only tiny for a phragmipedium. They're generally a bit thicker than this, but you can see what a mess it is. So we'll clean this up and we'll have another good look at it after it's cleaned up. Oh well. These things come to try us. Well, these have been a bit of a nightmare to clean up. I've done the best I can at this one, and found a new little growth there coming up. Needs a bit of dragon's blood on the bottom of it there. I don't think it's rot, I think it's just some hard sheath or hard leaf, whatever you might call it. But we'll get these potted up now and we'll put them all in fresh bark, some charcoal and a bit of perlite. Right, we'll mix all this together. We've got plenty here now, but this should be okay. If they don't do well out of this, then they shouldn't do well at all. But I think they'll do all right now, because when I was doing the roots on them, I found some horticultural form in it, and I haven't used horticultural form for years because you can't get it now. So it may be 2-3 years before they were repotted. So that's my fault. So we'll get the first one, which was I think it's one of the garum weavers. Yeah. It's a big pot for a little one, but they'll spread, they'll keep in quite some time. And when we've done this, what we'll do with all the 4 of them is just water them with some raw water. Just make sure all the gaps get filled up. Make sure the new growth is facing the right way, which is here. Yep. That's one. Put the label in. Get the other one if I can find it. Yep, this is another garum weaver. They're only in 1 litre pots these, so it gives them plenty of time to grow. Should be nice in there. And I do hope that these plants do come on, because garum weavers, they are gorgeous. Oh, I haven't got that in the middle of it. A bit. Better. And that's another one. Now where's the labels here for it, so I'm not doing so bad in that respect. That's 2. I think I've got enough bark here, don't you? Now where's the other one? One here. This is the Sedenii. These Sedenii years ago, I used to be able to grow them like weeds, but I do struggle with them these days. And I'm sure a lot of you do come across that, where you've grown plants very, very well, and the same plants you can't grow them now. I think it happens to us all, that. That's 3. And the last one is the unnamed one, where I didn't have a label for it, isn't it? But this is a nice plant, this should do fine. Make sure we get all the roots in properly. That's it. and that's the 4. So let's see if they're all looking a little bit better than when you first saw them. Yeah, I think they look a little better than when you first saw them, don't you? So I'll give them a nice watering with our raw water, no feeding, no nothing I think these days. Just leave these alone. I'll not touch them with any fertiliser for a few months. And well, mainly you can grow orchids, can't you, without using fertiliser at all. Only they grow a little bit quicker with fertiliser. Well, thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry about the noise that's been going on in the background, but nothing I could do about that. The weather is absolutely throwing it down yet. There's a wind getting up, and as I said before, the maximum temperature for the next 7 days is 8 degrees. Wonderful. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching, and thank you to all my subscribers. Hope you're all well, you're all enjoying yourself, all your plants are growing, and until you see you next time, bye.